Hi guys, this is my second video that I'm making. So hi YouTube and Facebook. I'm Thistle Night Bliss. Today's video topic is kind of a huge. It's about its beginnings. Mainly because when I was just starting to be a serious pagan. And because I was coming from a Protestant Christian background, I think that the first thing that I was looking for was, well, how did we get here? And you know, science has reasons, Christianity's got one, Islam's got one, and for me it was kind of, and I think it's the same for anyone who maybe coming from a Christian, Protestant, or Catholic background into Wicca or paganism. I think it's very natural to want to find that, and I think it's hard for somebody coming from a Christian background to accept that there may or may not be any sort of creation story at all for you. But I am eclectic, and I do pick and choose from different traditions and different religions, even what makes sense to me. And today I wanted to do a beginning video, mainly because this is the beginning of the page, and because I wanted to make you familiar with how I believe the beginning came around. And another reason, it was just so funny because today I got in the mail, well, a couple weeks ago, my mother had called and said, hey, your daughter doesn't know what the Bible is. And I had to stop myself right then and there, because that's a travesty in and of itself. Not because, I want her to be Christian, but because I want her to have the education necessary and the knowledge enough so when she's old enough to pick her own religion or to not pick a religion at all, she has the essential background in those religions. I just feel like, I grew up in a Protestant Methodist church, and I grew up with those kinds of stories being taught to me. My mother's a Sunday school teacher, and I think it's important for her to know this stuff. And I had talked with my mom, and we got her some DVDs because she's only 7, and I'm going to be starting with the creation story with my 7-year-old daughter, the Christian creation story. And so I'm also going to start with you guys on my eclectic pagan sort of creation story, that how I live. And I wanted to, it's the beginning of the page. It's, I wanted to go with the beginning of what I could. I feel like when you first come into a religion, if you don't know enough about it, this is one of the questions that was really pulling at me, that I was asking. And when I finally found it out, when I finally looked at a spot where it just made sense, it was just like everything from then on out just fell right into place. Everything from then on out. So that's what I want to share with you, my particular tradition's sort of creation explanation. It's close to the Vangelo della Strega. In what I'll just jump right in and tell you what it is. Basically, in the beginning, there was chaos, which is God without form, and there was a primeval deity that encompassed both masculine and feminine. It was a whole. And at first, primeval deity was not aware of herself. And I will refer to primeval deity as her, even though it's both masculine and feminine. And something else that I would like you to keep in mind is that when I say feminine, I mean spiritual. And when I say masculine, I mean physical, the duality. So anyhow, primeval deity wasn't aware of herself. So over the years and years past, she gradually becomes aware. She gradually says, you know what, I'm here. And she began to become, kind of very lonely. Didn't really know what to do. There, she knew she was here, but she was very lonely and just needed, I don't know if you would want to say company or if somebody has a better term for it, but what happened is she split into two. She split into masculine, physical, and feminine, which is spiritual, which you can think of as spiritual as being your soul and the physical as being your physical manifestation on earth. And of course, the physical and the tangible, what you can feel physically being masculine. So she saw how awesome this was, this physical and tangible thing that you can feel, you can see and touch and smell and taste and hear. And she was astonished. She didn't realize how great it was, and she began to feel very jealous of the masculine and wanting to experience that, wanting to take that part of herself back into her. And so basically she didn't know how to do that, so she talked with her higher self, because even primeval deity has higher self, and basically came to the conclusion that the way that she was going to be able to experience masculinity, or the masculine, the physical again, was to split herself into billions of pieces, which each piece is a soul. And she descended the planes into the masculine, into the physical, and each one of these souls is a lifetime, and she is living through every single living being, and she is gaining information. She is obtaining experience over and over and over and over and over again. And each soul does it repeatedly. It's not as if one soul just goes one time. No, each small piece of her is living over and over and over again, and making sure that she doesn't miss any single experience ever, because she wants to experience it all. And so that's what's happening. That's also explains my reincarnation process. That's how I truly think things are. She's sorry, sometimes I get but that's what happens. In order to really experience everything, we are each a small piece of the goddess or God. And when it comes to the end of this physical life, yes, we will move on. But that's not to say that we're not going to be born or get the option to incarnate into another life and have more experiences, because that's the point. Once we finish this physical life, we're going to start over another physical life, and we're going to have even more human experiences. And that's what it means when you see the memes going around, or the posters or the pictures that say, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, because that cannot be any more true. And that's what I keep thinking to myself every time I'm having, some sort of issue. This is, my higher power, my higher self, my goddess, my primeval deity is working through and feeling this, because essentially I am a piece of that. I am her. And I'm going through this, I'm feeling this for her, and when this life is over, I'm going to get a whole new set of interesting stuff to go through. And it's kind of neat. As far as reincarnation and past lives, I there's certain things that you just know or you just feel. Like, I know I was a man in a past life. I can't tell you who, but I can tell you by watching certain aspects of myself and how I am that it has to be true. So yeah, that is my beginning or creation story. And I'm telling you that because I want to be able to answer questions that you may have if you're new to the craft, if you're new to paganism. I'm coming up on my 3rd year, and I can only, I'm trying to think of every question that I had when I first embarked on this. And, and feel free. I mean, comment if you're watching this from Facebook. Feel free to comment and ask me any questions that you want, and we'll try to address each and every one. Maybe not all of them by video, but at the very least, by making it a title or a post on Facebook. And if you're watching this from YouTube, do the same thing, and I'll do my best. I'm not going to be able to answer everybody's questions via video, but I can try. So yeah, that is my creation story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe. That way I'm going to be putting out, a video every single Wednesday and feature something else. But I'm getting dangerously close to 15 minutes right now. So yeah, I just wanted to leave this. So comment, let's get some discussion going. I love you guys. And yeah, thanks.